It's RAGBRAI week. They are off. They took off from, let's see here, it says Sioux City, and they're making their way to the Quad Cities where they will dip their tire in the Mississippi River. And here's the thing, there are thousands of people from all across the world that'll be riding across Iowa this week. And they're gonna be enjoying thousands of beers, different beers at each and every place. But there is only one beer that is the official beer of RAGBRAI, and it's made by Big Grove. This is Rob from Big Grove. Thanks for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Tailwind has been
Cheers.
around for, cheers, okay, I'll start with
that,
this. This is a wonderful, like, golden ale.
Yeah, about as easy as it gets.
This has been going on for a couple of years. You've been the official beer of RAGBRAI. How does that start? How did that come about?
It's been a really awesome partnership with us and RAGBRAI. It's allowed us to introduce Big Grove to Iowans from all across the state, and really people from all across the Midwest, and to your point, all across the world who come into our state to enjoy the scenery and the landscape. And yeah, they're likely to maybe enjoy a beer or two along the way, and we're proud to be able to make an Iowa beer that's easy to drink along the ride, and one that we hope people can be proud of while they support the state in so many other ways too, with traveling through hotels and restaurants and seeing the small towns of Iowa. We like to just be a small part of that.
So you do 100 miles on a bike. You do not want an imperial stout at the end of the night. Maybe you do, but
if you're
generally.
bold, yeah, it's a bold strategy to go that to go that route. Usually you're looking for something that's a nice easy sipper. You can I like to see it when the bikers just lay down in the grass, almost close their eyes and just take in, okay, I'm off my feet finally. And a cold beer goes along pretty well with that.
And this is super easy, super sessionable. What is it, like 4.9 on the ABV?
4.5, yeah.
4.5,
yeah.
Well, that's even better. It's called Tailwind because
when you have a nice tailwind on a bike ride, you get to relax and embrace the tailwind.
It makes all the sense in the world.
A headwind is making you work so hard. A tailwind is taking a little load off for you.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
So you've been selling this beer, and it's a seasonal. It's only available in the summertime, right?
Correct. Yep. This is our 4th year making it. It's been a huge hit for the summer.
Now the good news is you don't have to ride RAGBRAI to get this. This is available. I've seen this on store shelves. I've picked up a 6-pack of it, and what I like to do, Rob, is I like to ride around the block a couple times, just to feel like I've earned it.
That's right.
But there's no wrong way to consume it, I imagine.
I don't think so. No, it's all available all across the state. We've had a ton of fun making it. It's a part of our celebration when the route is announced back in January, and then we just keep making it all the way through the summer, and takes us through next week, and I'm sure there will even be a little bit left over after next week.
I don't know if I'm giving away any secrets here, but these RAGBRAI riders, they like to drink beer.
They enjoy a beer or two,
or
maybe one more.
How are you getting this beer into the hands of people all across the state? That's got to be like a gigantic task.
We have this awesome team of folks who actually are usually even a day ahead of the ride. So we'll have folks, of course, in Sioux City, and then they head off to Storm Lake and Carroll, and they're usually one day ahead of the riders, making sure, okay, we know about how much beer we needed here, so we're gonna bump it up to be sure we have enough here, and so on and so on and so on. And with this year's route, there's so many big cities, and it kind of comes right through a few of our backyards, that we think there will be a few tailwinds that go down in the days ahead.
So Sioux City, Storm Lake, Carroll, Ames, Des Moines, Tama, Toledo, and it says here Coralville. That's the night before everybody comes to see us in the Quad Cities.
Right down the street.
What's going to be going on here when that's happening? That's Friday night, right?
Yeah. So Friday, the riders will come on into Coralville, and we will have a large number of our folks actually at the Coralville site where they come in to welcome the riders with the Tailwind beer, with our Easy Eddy and our Citrus Surfer and Summer Jam and other beers. And then we hope most of the folks who come into town, they just embrace Coralville and really, share in the concert that night.
Since last time we visited here, you guys, Big Grove has a space in Des Moines.
We do, yeah.
Tell us about that and the expansion and all the different places where you can drink Big Grove. I mean, you've got tap rooms. It won't be long that every night of RAGBRAI you'll have probably a Big Grove tap room in one of these towns.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Is that the plan maybe for next year?
I like that idea, yeah.
The Des Moines space, though, you got to be excited about it.
It's incredible. So actually this week, July 27th, is our 1-year anniversary in Des Moines. So big, beautiful patio like we have here in Iowa City. Tons and tons of seating. We were just told, we didn't know this, but it's actually square footage, the biggest restaurant in Iowa, which is really neat. And we open in Cedar Rapids next year.
That's where I was going to ask
Maybe
next.
later this year,
Okay.
probably next year. It's
Okay.
construction, you know.
The brewery is Big Grove. The beer is Tailwind, which is again the official beer of this week's RAGBRAI. You don't have to ride RAGBRAI to enjoy it. I mean, it probably doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt.
But you don't feel like you have to race across the state to get it. It's as near as as close as your nearest convenience store, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Rob,
yeah.
thanks so much for your time. Thanks for
Thanks
making
for
this great
having me.
beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Wait. What now?
We started the interview and Kevin was walking by. We're debating like,
I didn't realize. I assumed that you guys were like going down like, well, whatever. In the background,
It's-
like he's looking for a place to sit down and eat his corn on the cob. So.
it's your thigh that's in the shot. So we're thinking about putting an arrow like Kevin Phelps' thigh, just as it walks by. We're having like a special guest star